to intervene. What if SNIT goes ahead because they have come too far with the proposed sale of the shares of SNIT in these hotels, the interest? What will be the plan B? What will be the plan B? That's the conversation.
Where you at?
And we solicit for your comments and your thoughts.
22nd Street.
Oh, okay, stay loose, honey. We're on our way. We gonna put out
The best in the morning is on 92.7.
Laud Adu-Asare is on the phone now. Lord, good morning. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, Johnny.
Great. Now, quickly run us through it, just about 10 minutes. You tell us what transpired in court yesterday regarding the ambulance purchase trial.
Well, so Johnny, quite a number of things happened yesterday. It first off began with the Deputy Attorney General of the Jakpa drawing the attention of the court that apparently there was a recording, an audio recording of part of the cross-examination of Richard Jakpa at the last hearing in circulation. He stated that someone had recorded it and was forwarding it across WhatsApp pages. So once he made that call, the presiding judge, Justice Adu-Asare, called the parties into chambers for them to deliberate. When they came back, she gave stern warning that if any such thing happened, she would have to resort to holding the entire proceedings in camera, meaning that it would only be the parties interested, which is the prosecution and then the defense lawyers, as well as the accused persons, who will be in court for the matter. Now, fast forward, after that, the cross-examination started. Now, a lot of people were expecting that the Attorney General of Adu-Asare would be the ones to cross-examine Richard Jakpa, since a lot of us sort of built it to be between the two. But then when the case started, the Attorney General was not readily available. The case was ongoing before the Attorney General himself joined. And the cross-examination was led by the Director of Public Prosecution, Yvonne Atakra-Obobisa. During the cross-examination, she sought to establish that, one, Richard Jakpa was dismissed from the military due to his conduct and then for failure to pass his promotional exam for 7 times in the space of 7 years. But Richard Jakpa cleared the air, indicating that he was not dismissed and that indeed was released with honors.
Right.
He also stated that as far as the examinations were concerned, he felt that he was being victimized, and he gave a lot of background, went into history, explaining that he previously had an incident with the former Minister of Defense, the brother of former President Kufuor, Ado Kufuor.
Right.
At the time he was posted in Sunyani. Again, he went back to when he was in the army. He said he was commissioned in 1998, but in 2000, right after he passed, he was the best in marksmanship in his intake. And so when that happened, then President Rawlings, Lieutenant Rawlings, recruited him or posted him to the castle. And this had never happened before. Youngster, very smart, professional gunsman and everything, and was posted to the castle to be with the cadets. Now, at that point, he told the court that the senior officials or senior officers who were at the castle at the time he was posted there were very uncomfortable with him because of his background or because of his past. Apparently, his father was part of soldiers who released the former president from jail. And so, according to them, they felt that that was the reason why he had been posted there. But he told the court that that wasn't the case. He was the best intake as far as the handling weapons was concerned. And so the former president needed someone who was very skilled in using sophisticated weapons and such. And that's why he was there. Again, the prosecution sought to establish that Richard Jakpa was the one who reached out to the Attorney General
Right.
and not the other way around. So they put it to him that he's the one who first reached out. He sent messages to the Attorney General. Several of them, they identified or numbered 68 messages that Richard Jakpa has sent to the Attorney General, out of which he received only 2 responses.
Right.
But Richard Jakpa again stated that that was not the case and that they were taking things out of context because a lot of the conversations that transpired between him and then the Attorney General had to do, they happened within meetings. And so that was why it appeared that his messages came across, the Attorney General's messages to him came across as only 2. And when responding to the question where he said, where the prosecution said he introduced himself to the Attorney General, he said that, well, in the evidence, especially because he didn't add it to his exhibits in the evidence. And then he said that, well, he was making his case. And so he didn't think that part of the exhibit in the WhatsApp chat was necessary to
I see.
Lord,
there's
that was relevant to his case.
Lord,
So
regarding the recording in the public domain, I know that because this matter had generated a lot of public interest, there were concerns, or if you like, proposals for it to be telecast live on TV.
Yes.
The Attorney General had said that, well, he had already made that application to Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, and then there was no need for the Atu-Forson side to have even mentioned that they were going to request for that. Where are we now regarding that particular request, and if at all it was put in?
That's hard to tell. A lot of us have been finding out and probing further on this issue, but as far as our sources tell us, there hasn't been any response from the Chief Justice on the petition from both the Attorney General and then especially Atu-Forson. We are still awaiting the response from the Chief Justice to know whether indeed this case will be brought to the public domain or be broadcast live because of the public interest in the matter.
Now, yesterday, the mood in court, the front page, for example, of the Republic Press says that AG corners Jakpa as he admits hiding portions of the WhatsApp message from the court. Yesterday, I'm told that there were WhatsApp messages that were also tendered by the Attorney General. Run us through that quickly and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, so I think that's what I had started talking about earlier when they sort of established that Richard Jakpa is the one who reached out to the Attorney General first and not the other way around, because in their questionnaire, Richard Jakpa had admitted that he had seen the Attorney General several times in the house of his cousin, Justice Kulendi, but hadn't spoken to him because at the time they weren't even friends. And he classified that to be part of the meetings that he had with the Attorney General. But then the prosecution sought to say that, well, if you meet someone at a place and then you haven't had any form of conversation, it doesn't mean that you met. And then they put it when they're asking him about how he got to know the Attorney General, Richard Jakpa admitted that he took the contact of the Attorney General from his cousin, Justice Kulendi, because he wanted to thank the Attorney General as well as set up a meeting. And that was where the issue of the WhatsApp conversation came in, because he said that after he took the number from Justice Kulendi, he reached out to the Attorney General via WhatsApp and introduced himself as the cousin of Justice Kulendi. But in the exhibit that he tendered in, he didn't add it. And so the prosecution tendered that part in and said they will eventually put the full disclosure of the WhatsApp messages between Richard Jakpa and the Attorney General. So that's when things were established that indeed it was Richard Jakpa who first reached out to the Attorney General and even sent multiple messages which were not replied to, but got only 2 responses from the Attorney General, Dr. Ibadan.
When next is the court sitting on this matter? So
we are back in court on Thursday, and then the prosecution will continue their cross-examination. I must note that the presiding judge, Laud Harris Adu-Asare, added that she may have to lift the ceiling of the amount of time apportioned for the cross-examination of Richard Jakpa to the prosecution. Initially, she had given them about 6 hours, but looking at the manner in which Richard Jakpa answers his questions, the court noted that, he's very elaborate and tends to explain a lot when a question is put to him. And so there's no way the prosecution will be done with their cross-examination in 6 hours. And
Right.
they have to increase the time. So we're back in court on Thursday, and that will continue.
So it means Mr. Jakpa has much more information than what was assumed that he would have.
It appears so, because once you ask him a question, he gives a lot of explanation, asks for exhibits to back it up, gives background information, history, to put things in context so that nobody takes him out of context in his response. He says a lot of the times that his answers cannot be a yes or no, because people wouldn't understand it. So once he says yes, then ask to give further explanations. Indeed, on a number of occasions, the judge had to reprimand him and then tell his lawyers at the story to also talk to his clients, because he was going over and beyond, speaking a lot when he was asked a rather simple question by the prosecution, the way they like to put it.
Great.
And he would explain a lot. Sometimes, at some point, the judge indicated that he was lost in all of what is happening because of the way Richard Jakpa was explaining, and then he actually lost the cue of what the question and what he was supposed to answer.
Laud Adu-Asare, I thank you very much indeed for your time. He's our court correspondent, joining us with all the detail you need to have on the ongoing ambulance case trial. And we will have that conversation now. Yesterday was the big rally, and my guests are already in. We'll get them seated. But first, take a listen to this. Okay, Neil, hold your horses there. Let me connect with Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Black.